Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday. I was going to say May. It's Thursday, June 15th. What a blessing it is to be here for the morning dew for certified doers just like you. I am Jackie Glass, mama, Navy vet, and also a certified doer. But most importantly, here is the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates 89th District. So grateful for you all to join us this morning. Um, I'm going to keep saying this out loud because I think, I don't know what has happened to 2023. I don't know necessarily what has happened, but we're in the third quarter here, right? And if this was a basketball game, uh, it'd be time, right? We're in the second half of the game here. Good morning, Mr. Little. Good morning, Miss Charlene. Good morning, Instagram. I'm so grateful again to have um, you all present and accounted for. Let's get into it. First off, if you have any community events or anything you have going on, please drop them in the comments so that I can say them out loud at 55 after. So any announcements, and hopefully you guys can hear me. I got some really serious work happening in my kitchen. So if you need me to pipe it up, let me know. Um, but we are any community events announcements or just any just drop them in the comments. And if you have a particular topic or question, drop them in the comments now. That is why we are here. This is your time, certified doers. You want to tell me the good work that you're doing in your community. Tell me something good. Tell me something super good. This is a hyped up weekend. And hyped up in a beautiful way. It is the weekend of Juneteenth. I know that there are so many things happening. My calendar is fuller than I can imagine for opportunities to engage with you all in the public. So I'm excited to be out and hitting these streets with you all. Um, let's go ahead and go through the calendar. So see what's up. This week has been varsity. Just try to keep y'all in the know of where we at, what we're doing, how we're doing, what we're doing, and just giving you guys a good peek into. If you've been paying attention to social, you know that we saw that our city received $400 million for this flood wall plan. If you have questions about it, I promise you, like I was a person too sitting up here like, what is this? What is it bringing? Why are we doing it? What's the future prospects? Most people don't believe that water is an existential threat to Norfolk. We were going to be, what is it, 2075? A lot of this port city that we enjoy could be underwater if we don't take some steps. So excited to see the work that is going to be done. Grateful that Senator Kane, Senator Warner, Congressman Scott, the Army Corps of Engineers, I heard them several times say that we've got to do a better job with how we do our funding formulas. Because y'all, let me tell you about these funding formulas. They 9 times out of 10, they used to protect only the biggest assets, the assets that had the highest value, which typically make communities, not communities of color, not communities of people economically advancing. So there's a committed effort in this process. And shout out to the people on the South Side. I'm looking at you on Facebook. I'm looking at you on Instagram. Shout out to y'all on the South Side that advocated for yourselves to say we will not be included. Hello, we are here, and y'all gonna make sure we get taken care of too. So that is happening. Really excited about at those things. I see I got a question, so y'all drop them. I see you on Instagram, Sunshine Lady. I'm gonna get to your question in a second here. Working on some stuff with these gray machines. I'm telling y'all, I had to snatch up somebody this week from a gray machine. I'm really concerned about let me stop talking that lingo. Gray machines. If you all don't know, when you walk into 7-Eleven, sometimes some phone stores and things like that, you'll see these machines that look like not slot machines, but they're skill game machines, right? They're all over the place. We get $0.00. Those machines are 100% profit for those. Well, not 100%. The the people that own them get a piece too. But there's nothing coming back to communities, nothing coming back to city localities, nothing coming back to the state off those machines. They're not regulated. So this has been an ongoing thing, back and forth with the General Assembly, back and forth. We have localities that have done some things. So I had a conversation with one of my colleagues this past week because I'm trying to get a better understanding of, one, why is it 50 million, 11 of them inside of these stores? And two, they're here. There's no benefit. There's no net benefit for anybody other than the folks that are they're sitting at their stores. And half of these people that have these machines were the main ones. Like, I don't want no loitering. Now we got all this loitering, and then our children have access to them, right? Teenagers there's no real way to card to make sure that they are the people that should be. So know that is on my mind too, right? Like, that is something that I'm really trying to figure out what this looks like, understanding the process by which these folks get these machines, where do they fall under? That's a whole long story. And as I grow and get more cognizant of all of this, that is going to be something on my legislative agenda, y'all. We doing this. Had a conversation about legislation this week. If you don't know, we are at a time where, or June through August, I am working on legislation. So if you have a legislative idea, like you're like, you know what, Delegate Glass, I would love to talk about this law or this thing. This is the season. This is the season that we start doing that. Hey, him, the poet. I'm so excited for all the work I see you about to be up to, seeing your face and all your good work. What was I saying? So there's some criminal justice things. I've brought a lot of legislation forth about how we interrogate youth, how we want to stop giving the police the tool to lie to youth when we're trying to create this culture of trusting, but we also say they could lie to people under the age of 18. That's a whole problem. Bringing some of that legislation back. But if you have a piece of legislation, or you're questioning, or you have comments, this is the time to start connecting, because I will be putting out my legislative agenda by September for your all's review, getting ready. I have an election this year, so I still got to be running for office, being the laced up legislator for the 89th, working for the votes in the 93rd, and all that good stuff. But we're doing it. Summer school for certified doers. We have our dates, and I don't want to fib on those dates, but they're going to be one session in person, one session virtually, a workshop, and virtually a workshop in person. So what's going to happen is we're going to have the educational piece of the summer school. That'll be 2 hours, and then you'll have a workshop where you take that education, we're going to put it in practice and build some bills. So stand by. That'll be most of, they will be in July. And then I think there's one session in August, one workshop in August. So, and looking at an advanced course for certified doers who actually already understand the process. So if you don't know how this system works, be prepared to have your mind blown, and let's figure out to be up in the system. And then I talked to some developers the other day. I told these people, like, the D word is kind of a cuss word here in Norfolk. When people hear the D word, it's like you hear the word some in front of it, and it's not normally followed by something good. So some developer came up over here and did this. Some developer did this. So just understanding how we can eliminate that and how people need to be doing different. All right. So like really trying to look at work that we can bring forth that is more cohesive and collective, a good relationship between the state and local government, so that we can do what we do better for you. Because like I said, there's some issues. I don't feel like I'm the best advocate for you all, because I don't have the information that I need to be a better advocate, to be a better representative at the state level. And so we're building those bridges in a beautiful way. Let me get to a question I have on Instagram, you guys. So I'm going to turn over here because Instagram is right here. So Lady Sunshine says she has questions about all the casinos being built. She says I'm in gambling recovery, and I'm concerned that casinos are targeting Black communities. No real recovery programs for gambling, and no gambling, right? Like, you just want that gambling to be out of here. As somebody who advocated on the other side of this issue, on your side of this issue, back in 2019, when we were having this debate about having gambling here. There was a myriad of reasons. One, we had a really bad deal, right? Like off top, I just say this was my first issue was like bad deal. Like, this is not good for Norfolk. Unfortunately, much of what we advocated against is it's happening, right? It's happened in our city, right? The contract, the potential for the place, the piece of how are we ensuring that this doesn't target certain communities, and if it does, how do we ensure that we are investing in a meaningful way back into said spaces? There is a gambling and we just talked about this again when I was talking to my colleague. Shout out to Paul Krizak, man. Just smart. I love when there are people who've been doing this much longer than I have, who just are just passionate about it. And so what Paul was saying is that there is a fund, which we know that there's a state fund, and then I think localities have some funds too that'll go to gambling addiction mitigation. And listen, if we look at the history, Sunshine Lady, this is Sunshine Lady at sun_shine_lady on Instagram, is you're absolutely right about how it becomes a tax, right? It also becomes a black tax in many places, because the money just stay from that community, just circles through circle through those institutions and entity, because of longstanding inequities of just like trying to take a chance to get that level up, to do that next thing, get them dollars real quick. And then it becomes an addiction, which leads to all these other things like divorce, more money problems, depression, all the things that come with any kind of addictions, whether food, alcohol, sex, or drugs. The same sort of thing. That's the same sort of issues you see with gambling recovery. So what I'd like to do for you, Sunshine, is I'm going to get you a link to some of the information on the gambling recovery, the gambling helpline, and the money that is being problem gambling fund, so that you know about that. But I agree with what you're saying. I totally agree with what you're saying. It's here though, right? This is what we have to realize sometimes for all of us, is that there are economies, because this is the gambling economy, that come to our space and place that we don't love, right? That we're not happy with that. But we're not the sum of the Commonwealth, right? People had to vote on it, like myself. Right? I wasn't in the General Assembly when they voted on it, but as a resident of Norfolk, I had to vote on whether or not I wanted that there. And there were more people who said they wanted it that didn't, whether it was at the state level or is at the local level. And so that is why the connection between the state and local government is so important for all of us to understand, because we live in a Dillon rule state, because we are in a commonwealth. The state gave localities permission to take this step. So this all started at the General Assembly, where your delegate sits now, right? This all sort of was a culmination of the General Assembly telling localities it's okay. And then those particular localities, whether it was Danville, I think, Richmond was going through it, or Norfolk, they all said that we wanted. Their populations had to vote and say, so remember, this is all voting. This is all a matter of voting and saying this is what we want. So this is why this is important. And if it's something important to you, I just encourage you to stay tuned to the things that matter most to you, because you can help us do our job better. So what else did she say? Advocacy Day is July. Problem gambling with National Council for Problem Gambling. Thank you for that. Do you mind getting in our DMs and sharing whatever, if you have something going on or you know about something, can you share that with us? I did not know that there's an Advocacy Day coming up in July for the problem gambling. And she's a speaker for the National Council for Problem Gambling. I am not doing a advocacy day, because I'm just now learning about it from sun_shine_lady on Instagram, that there's an advocacy day. But if there is one, we're here for it, right? Because we know what this is going to be doing. And also, I'm just saying this, I'm looking at your picture, Chocolate Lady, and I'm saying it is so good to see people of color in the recovery process, to help people of color in the recovery process, right? Beautiful thing. And yes, 5 casinos, and there's still this debate over where that 5th one is gonna happen and all that good stuff. So we value you. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is how we get smarter. Like, I need you in this process. Tell me about your stuff so that I can do what we're gonna do better, much better. But thank you for that. Today, the YMCA and NSU have a partnership for the REST conference. And I don't want to get to telling a fib of what REST is, because I know it. REST, racial equity and social something. I think that's what it is. And don't beat me up. Don't beat me up, because I'm supposed to be going to the legislative breakfast this morning, and also attending a little bit of the conference. But what's interesting is my intern today said, wow, I'm so glad that we're going to something that talks about like getting ourselves together. Speaking of internships, our goal in this office is to ensure that we share this opportunity with you all, right? Share this opportunity. We have interns that are in their 50s. Shout out to Carrie Short, who said, I'm an intern for Delegate class. And it's like, am I too old to be an intern? No, you're not. Thank you. We have interns that are in college. We have an intern that is in high school. We are getting ready to, we have an intern in middle school, and we're getting ready to, hopefully next week, be able to hire a part-time intern who is in elementary school, a 5th grader or a rising 6th grader just finishing 5th grade, to be a part of this work that we're doing. I believe in a participatory government, period. Like, the unfortunate thing is that we don't always all have time for that. We don't. So this is why this is another PSA, and shout out to you all to say, get in where you fit in. You don't have to be brilliant on everything. I just had a conversation with a major organization about the license plate readers, right? Like, this is not something that I just know about, right? Like, I'm seeing things. Sometimes I'm getting and seeing information just like you. There's a higher level of responsibility that I have, as you have granted me with the privilege of being able to be a part of a legislative process that gets to make some decisions. So yes, there's an expectation that if I don't know, that I go seek that information and make better decisions for all of us. But I was sitting in this space, learning about protecting your data, protecting your privacy, and have we taken this next steps? Do we need to legislate, right? Some things are happening on the back end, but I'm not an expert. So I have to seek out information. But just as I seek, I hope that you guys give. So I'm looking at good morning, seniors aging gracefully. Talking about I'm awesome. I expect that SAG, or seniors aging gracefully, that if there is an issue that is dealing with senior residents, and that they are passionate about making sure that seniors just be able to have the resources and the fun, because joy equity is real. Joy isn't just for certain people with money or see people that look a certain way. Joy is something that we all should be able to have, that they're giving joy and opportunities and resources to seniors. So if there's an issue, I hope they holler at me like, hey, can you help? Or let me let you know that this is going on. And which is a really great segue into this past week, we had a briefing for seniors. So just shout out to you, seniors aging gratefully. And if you know somebody over 55 that's looking for a good time and all that good stuff, please go like seniors aging gracefully page. Even if you're getting close, you know somebody in the community, because they be having some fun stuff going on. I'm like, I'm too young to be a part. But I just would love the opportunity for us to get more people engaged with the beautiful things, the amazing things that are happening in our space and place. But this briefing that I went to talked about homelessness, senior citizens homelessness, how it is rising significantly. Unhoused, I said homelessness, unhoused seniors, and that it is an issue that we do not have enough resources for. We do not. We do not have enough. So there are some, again, people smarter than me that are taking some steps forward and educating our office on how we can be better stewards and how we can be helpful to the community of our aging population. By the year 2025 or 2035, I believe they said that it will be the first time that our senior population is larger than our youth. I think that was the stat. So people not having kids. Thinking about the world today, people not having kids, but they are aging. They are staying alive much longer, much longer. So as we resource ourselves and Social Security, we're wondering, is it going to run out? Then these are real things where we have to think about how our worlds govern themselves and resource themselves for these particular opportunities. I don't see no more questions. I'm looking. I hope that Colonial Place is included. I hope that Colonial Place, Riverview, Cruiser Place is included. Hold on. In your plans. In my plans? What plans? My face-to-face plans? What you talking about, Miss Shirley? I know that was a while ago. But let me know what plans. If you have a community event, now is the time. Drop it in the comments so that I can, over the next 5 minutes, spend some time on shouting out your event, shouting out the good stuff to do. Tell me what you do in Certified Doers. I already heard Miss underscore shine sun underscore shine underscore lady without an A. Tell me about how she's a certified doer on problem gambling. So what you got? Oh, the Norfolk Resiliency Project. Yeah. So let me, Miss Charlene talking about the Norfolk Resiliency Project. I want to make sure that I get to you the pamphlet and the explanation for things that I have so you can see. Oh, do I have it here? I think I took it out of this bag. No, I don't have it. But be able to share with you what the project entails so that you can better communicate that to your community. All right, so it is 55 after. Let's get it. So on Instagram, sun underscore shine underscore lady without the A says July 26th is Problem Gambling Advocacy Day. So put that in the back of you guys' minds. July 26th is Problem Gambling Advocacy Day. Thank you for that. Did not even know. Appreciate you so much. September 9th is National Grandparents Day dinner. Here's what I love. See, this is why, listen, y'all over there at SAG, I love y'all. September 9th. That means you ain't got no excuse. September 9th. Mark your calendar. You give plenty of time to go ahead and mark that calendar for September 9th, National Grandparents Dinner Day. Is there a location yet, or is it just mark the calendars? We're just getting ready for that. Let me know. Drop in the comments, and I'll shout that out. I'm going to go ahead and get some of our dates up there as you guys go ahead and put your dates in there. Let's see what we got. I will be, next week is going to be a tough week. I still will be able to do the live because, again, remember the lives are early enough in the morning where they should not be disrupted. If they ever are, I will let you know. But our office will be limited next week as I'll be out of town for our Democratic retreat. So you won't see me in the community a lot of next week because I won't be in town. I'll be working, but I won't be at all of the things. In the community. So the Virginia Caribbean, okay, got it. I'm looking at you. The Virginia Caribbean American Cultural Association on the 9th. Good morning, Jordan. Appreciate you. Looking forward to that movie, right? Like I don't know if we connected back, but getting that together. Yes, I got it. September 9th. No, but that is Seniors Avon Gracely has something September 9th, but I don't know if those two things are connected. I don't think that they are. So for SAG, we're seeing there's going to be a dinner at Norfolk United Methodist Church on Military Highway. So mark your calendars for that. Thank you for letting us know. Oh, Carib Fest. Carib Fest is also September 9th. So here's what I get from Instagram and Facebook putting it together. The seniors could go ahead out there at Carib Fest and get a little shaky on, and then go ahead and eat dinner at Norfolk United Methodist Church on September 7th. It seems like a jam-packed day. I do want to put a pin out there. Shout out to all the parents getting ready to weather this storm that we call the summer. With our little citizens. It will be a short summer. For those of you guys who do not know, school, today is the last day for Norfolk Public Schools. It's the last day. But on the other side of that, school is going to start earlier next year. School will start before Labor Day. So there'll be a pretty short summer, but it's going to end earlier too. This next calendar year. So stand by. Make sure that, if you're looking for programs and things to do for your little citizens, I will always shout out My Active Child. That has just been a website that has been super helpful for me since I moved to the Hampton Roads area for figuring out what is going on. Teens with a Purpose has a camp. Some of the schools' websites has some things. If you are a person that's like, it costs too much, some of this, please hit up our office. We'll try to get you some last day is tomorrow. It's tomorrow or it's not today? Philip beat me up. My son just said the last day. Both of my kids just told me today the last day. Both of them. Let's beat them with a wet noodle. Hold on. Yep, you're right. Tomorrow's the last day. Let me stop fibbing because it's on my calendar, because I have a good calendar. I have people that keep me together, because both of them talking about today last day. They fibbing. And shout out to the graduates, y'all. Let's do this right now. I need everybody to just be excited for this first graduating class. This graduating class is the first class graduating that lost their first 2 years of high school. Or no, is it the second? Yeah, because when COVID happened, this is the first graduating class that lost their full first 2 years of high school. And it is to see these young people get ready for their next phase in life is a beautiful thing. Let me put this out there as well. If you know a young person that just graduated that is feeling lost and not knowing where to go, please reach out to our office. We just get so many resources, so many opportunities to connect them with. Let us not allow them to feel the weight of the world, that they are opening themselves up to opportunity, that a lot of opportunities are right here in our own backyard. I ran into a young man at an event for my son at the convention center in the parking lot, working the parking lot. And we told him what event I was there for. And he was like, well, your son's doing better than I am. And I was like, what? Why would you say that? And he told me about his story and how he's, just working. And we got him connected with TCC, and he's on the path to trying to get his IT certification. There's always, when we care, when we become a community of care, and when we build up each other, we grow economically, because that kid is now, and I'm going to try to keep up with him and make sure he sees this thing through. But his world has been opened up to opportunities because we, you, the certified doers, have created this community of care that we want to see everybody be their best version of themselves. So if you have questions, if you're worried, if you just are like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this child, or come through, just send us an email and say, I don't know what I'm going to do with this child. Jackie told me to email y'all that. So, and we'll provide the resources and connect the dots for you, okay? Good morning, Coffee with the Muslim. I know I'm over time, but I have one more question. Yes, tomorrow's the last day of school, not today. Ms. Charlene says, will the biennial budget amendments be completed by January legislative session? You are asking a brilliant question. So for those of you guys who are like, what is Ms. Charlene even talking about with this biannual budget amendments be completed by the January legislative session? Peep game. If you've been on the Morning Dew with Certified Doers, then you know we did not approve any amendments to our budget. An amendment to the budget is a change, an update. So we got a budget that's supposed to last us 2 years. We We vote on that budget 1 year, biannual. That means 2. We vote on that budget next year. The next year we say, are there any changes we wanted to make to this budget? So, maybe we meant to give somebody some money and we thought this other person needed money too, or we wanted to change some things around. This is the year that we do that. The odd years are the years that we make changes to our 2-year budget. So that's what she means by biannual budget amendments. Will they be done by January? Because we did not complete them in this session. This past session of 2023, we did not complete any of those amendments. We did all the things to make sure that our government didn't fall apart, to make sure that things that needed to get funded, like the retirement system, the ongoing projects got funded, but nothing else, right? There were 4 things, but nothing else. So I cannot tell you, the governor can call us back at any time to the General Assembly to approve these amendments. Now, I, like you all, want these amendments approved because this was the first year that I put in a budget amendment, which is like, yes, I put it and it made it through. So I want to see this budget amendment make it through, right? I hope you want to see it make it through. There's money for the schools, money, projects money, all kinds of money in there that have been changed over to go into different places that have not happened and will not happen until we approve the amendment. So that's what Miss Charlene's talking about. The short answer is I just don't know. We don't know when. No one is doing really any budget negotiations right now. Primaries are one of the things that people are saying is the issue with us even making any moves on the budget. So because of that, I suspect after the primaries, maybe we'll start hearing some real talks about getting the amendments to the budget approved. But we're at the behest of the negotiators for the budget, which are the Senate Finance Committee and the House Appropriations Committee chairs, and making sure that they that we get on the horn. But I will say this, we are very far apart. The Republican budget it don't even sound good. It's like it has a lot of tax rate for businesses that they didn't even ask for. And it's like, I think I did a whole thing on taxes. When you take a tax away, you got to figure out how to fund that thing that tax was funded. There's a lot of tax breaks on their side, a lot of education, and what I would say are good things. We're just too far apart right now, and I'm hoping that we'll come together and get it done. That is the long and short answer to this. What I love is on Instagram, y'all, Preston, uptown.preston. I was going to say decimal like I was back in the military. Uptown.preston says budget language supersedes law for the life of said budget, then it needs to be codified to remain. Absolutely. So what Uptown Preston is talking about is like I've told y'all, the budget is above anything. The budget over everything. It can be a law to say we can't do something. If it say we can do it in a budget, then we can do it. And it's unfortunate sometimes. We saw it last year with the earned sentencing credits, where people legislate through the budget. Both sides have done it. We should be legislating through the legislative process, budgeting through the budgeting process, and those two things should not be like intertwining. Preston Page, so what he's saying is absolutely right, that if something shifts in the budget and we want to codify it or make it a law, that's what codified is, like put it in the code, then we have to do that. So thank you for that. Shout out to you, Preston, just for like knowing stuff. Hey, that sound like certified doer tendencies. I don't know if you up in here being a certified doer. Philip says the 17th annual, I love Englefest. If there is a civic league to model the things after, it is Ingleside. Okay, so Ingleside has their 17th annual Englefest Community Day, Saturday, August 19th from 4 to 8. Saturday, August 19th from 4 to 8 at Ingleside Church. And it's a big freaking deal. Last time they had the Coast Guard boat out there. They have everybody out there. So you just come be a part of their community, right? Come enjoy what they have to offer at Inglefest. at Englefest. Yep, be there. Yes, Miss Roslyn, I absolutely enjoyed the graduation. We're going through comments over here. So again, enjoy the graduation. Got to see one of my neighbor daughters. That's what I call I feel like she's my daughter, but she's my neighbor. Graduate from high school. It was such a beautiful thing. Congratulations to you, Miss Roslyn, for your grandson graduating from Maury High School as well. So shout out to the graduates. If you have a graduate that you want me to send them a congratulations letter to, please hit up our office, Del J Glass at house.virginia.gov. We are always here to, and I should have had this scrolling the whole time, y'all. I should have had this scrolling the whole time. I'm going to also plug sign up for updates. Sign up for updates. If you want to know what we got on, trying to keep abreast of the stuff we're doing, go to the website, all of the things, you're on social media, sign up for updates. The newsletter, subscribe. That is the biggest source of it. I had a woman pull up on me yesterday in advance, like, I read your newsletter. Actually, two. I read your newsletter. I love the information you put out because I work really hard at making sure that y'all are staying up to date on what's happening. So sign up for the updates there. Last thing here before we get going, perhaps it could help if the governor stays in Virginia. Yeah, man, just kick it with us here. Kick it with us here. I mean, he wasn't my pick, but he is the pick for the Commonwealth. So like she said for Instagram, the comment was, perhaps it would help if the governor stays in Virginia. Yeah, it would help. We just don't know what he's doing. And the thing about having governors in Virginia, which is different from where I grew up in the state of Illinois, the Commonwealth, the governor can't serve back-to-back terms. So like once they get on that, he's on the second half of his tour as governor. And as y'all know, like with president, when they get into that second term, they know they can't do this again. It get real. They kind of might buck. They might be more their truest self. But with governor, there's opportunities to go up. With president, it's like all you about to do is go try and live your best life after this. So once our governor figures out or, gets really committed to what it is that he's doing next, I think that we'll be in a better place to understand how he feels about the Commonwealth. But if it's other aspirations, then I just don't suspect that there'll be a lot of making waves as he tries to walk himself into the national spotlight, which is not helpful because I feel very strongly that he stays Florida adjacent, right? It's like that guy that sees all that bad stuff across the street, but stays across the street. Like you still in the same neighborhood. Like you still up in that same neighborhood. You got DeSantis in one house and Trump in the other house, and you right across the street. Y'all still in the same neighborhood. So whether you try to make it light or not, it's still not healthy for us. At least this is the side of the political arena, the spectrum. This is where I am on the spectrum because it is not a side. It's definitely a spectrum. Last but not least, if you guys enjoy what it is that we're doing, if you appreciate the work that we do in the mornings, in the community, like no money, no mission. So it is my ask always that you consider contributing to us as a campaign, as an institution, as a business in a way, right? This is real. I'm hiring people from the community, trying to stay afloat. We are definitely, like I said, I have an election coming up. I do not have a primary. Shout out to primaries on Tuesday, right? Y'all better be at the polls. If you ain't already voted, you better have your butt at the polls on Tuesday, the 20th. Do you hear me? Certified doers get more done and go tell 10 people, get to the polls on Tuesday. It's a primary. Not enough people vote in these primaries. I need y'all to do that. I need you to do it, right? Many of these elections, especially in Norfolk, every single primary election in Norfolk is actually the election, okay? There won't be a person running against the person in the general election, whereas I don't have a primary, but I have a general election. Also, Phil Hernandez up in the Ocean View area, he doesn't have a primary, but he has a general election, and his election is going to be super tough. So I need y'all to get to this is the election. This is it. So for whatever's on your ballot for the primary, this is it. This is it. Okay. Come November, you won't have an option. It'll be just whoever won that primary. So get to it. Okay. Philip, thank you for your service. Excuse me, Assistant Principal Hawkins. Thank you for your service. I appreciate you. We doing it, and just as I said, look, Philip said it. I'll be there, and I already voted. Boom, in the box. All right. Until next time, I will see you all next week, next Thursday. As I said again, down at the bottom, sign up for our updates, sign up for our updates, sign up for our updates. Keep your abreast. I will be on, but I will not be in the community most of next week. After the primaries, I will be out of town, but I will be working. I will be in delegate mode working, but I won't be in town. So no, but that doesn't mean the office is not still working. Stephanie is still there working her butt off, chief of staff. So still call the office if you need help. We still got you covered. Remember I said we got all these beautiful people from the neighborhood, from the community that want to be here to serve you, that are interning with us, getting their stipends to do good work for us as a community. All right. All right. Till next time, y'all make it a great day. I'm Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy Vet certified, doing list up to legislative product, House Does, 89th District, earning the 93rd. See you on the flip side. Be well. Water yourself. Drink some water.